I'm Melissa Miller, and today we're going to get a behind-the-scenes look at an experimental program going on at Redbird Flight Simulations down at Skyport, Texas at the San Marcos Airport. And today we're going to be talking to Abraham McIntyre with Bahamas Habitat. He is going through the accelerated 3 to 4 week training program. He'll be doing all of his work in flight simulators before he ever gets behind the controls of an actual aircraft. Abe, how are you doing today?
Very good. I'm doing great, actually.
Good. And so I understand we interrupted one of your simulator sessions today. What were you working on?
We were working on traffic patterns and did some stalls and some malfunctions, kind of taking off and about 200 feet up. He would, John, my CFI, would basically just kill my engine and then do the glide slope into a random Texas field.
Oh, okay. Have you had any moments in the simulator when your palms got sweaty and you were a little bit nervous, or has it all been pretty easy to deal with?
I mean, there's a sense of, I guess, security just because it's in the simulator, but then it's very real, very realistic. Actually, John, I made a bad decision and ended up crashing on my first malfunction. And he actually, he kind of slid forward in his seat and had to brace himself. And he was like, "Man, I hate when that happens," because it was just so. I mean, it's just literally so real.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's incredible. It's really incredible. And it's one of those things where I was telling my buddy, he was like, "It's really neat that you can push the envelope so much, with the simulators and not have to worry, if you do crash, like you could just walk away." And it happened 2 days ago. That was my first crash, but I learned that about flaps and when to use them and when not to use them. And, so it just makes it one of those, bad experiences that you don't have to get hurt in to still learn a really good experience or a really good lesson.
Oh, okay. That's
but yeah,
neat.
I sweat. There's definitely some sweating going on.
That sounds like pretty typical training then.
Right.
So can you walk us through your typical day? Because I know it's an accelerated program. So, is it all aviation all the time? Kind of what do you do?
Yeah, it's pretty jam-packed. I'm living about 45 minutes away, so I've been coming in, having to get up 5:15, 5:30 to get in. Come in with one of Josh Arnagle, one of the guys that works here. And so come in early and be in here and be able to do a little bit of work before John, again, my CFI, gets in. So I can do some just studying, or I can jump right into the simulator. Really, started on Monday, and on Tuesday, he showed me how to start the simulators up, and so I can just jump right in and had my first solo on Tuesday afternoon, which is, again, just a really incredible experience to be able to do that. I can't go and jump in one of the new, the 172s by myself and take off, but I can jump in a simulator and practice the pattern work or practice the stalls and, approaches and things like that without him even having to be here. So that kind of freedom and confidence booster really has been really, really amazing. So then he gets here. We start usually 8:30 and do some groundwork. And then we go to FARs, and then he'll tell me the profile of the flight that we're about to do, what kind of maneuvers we're going to do, and then we'll jump right into it and go through all my checklist and take off and go through all the whatever it is, and so do that. And I was really surprised the very first day. We did a 1.6 and a 1.5. Time frame, and I was amazed at how fast they both went through it. He said 1.7 the first time, and I was like, "What? I don't know what 1.7 means." And he was like, "Oh, that's an hour and 42 minutes." And I thought it was like a 30-minute flight. It was just incredible how quick it went by. So it was cool. And so just been able to continue that. So we usually do at least two, usually hour and a half, hour and 45-minute sessions a day. If we got, I guess today's Thursday, we've had two days that we've had three sessions plus a few, shorter sessions that I've done just by myself. And then today we got introduced into the crosswind trainer. which is a lot of fun. And and then on top of that, when he's not with me, then I can do just some studying by myself, and then a little bit in the evenings as well once I get back home.
Okay. So is it, maybe a 12-hour period, or what are you spending about studying?
Yeah, probably 12 altogether, because being at Skyport and then doing some stuff at home as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So how do you like working in the simulator? You mentioned the confidence building and the freedom that you have with that.
It's one of those things. It's, of course I'm looking at, 4 brand new 172s out here in the hangar. You just kind of see them all day, and other people get to take them out and fly, which, makes me a little bit jealous. But also, for the crosswind, I probably did 35 or 40, crosswind touchdowns or landings, and I did that in 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, so, and there's just no way, each one, whatever, takes, 10 minutes, out in the field. So, and it scores you and, on a 1,000-point curve or a point spread. And so, you have this instant, feedback. And then, John's sitting there right beside me, and he'll teach me a few things, and he'll go off and do a couple other stuff while I just continue to do, landing after landing after landing. So it's incredible. It's a very neat way to do it, because it is so, so real, and it kind of gives you the freedom, like I said. So yeah, and then I get home and I'm like sitting on my bed, and I like kind of still feel like I'm flying.
That's awesome. What milestone are you working toward now?
Well, really just like the proficiency of it all.
Okay.
And just getting through all the maneuvers, really kind of stage 2 of the coursework. So just going through all the maneuvers of stalls, and like I said, the takeoffs and landings, and doing points around the turn, and the rectangle turns. Going through the checklist. We've sat in the plane a couple times just to get a feel for it, and John will tell me a few different things, and the setup is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, I was talking to one of the guys here yesterday, and he was just saying that people are like, oh, well, the crosswind trainer, it's not really like a 172. And you're like, you're right, it's not a 172, it's a simulator. And so if you can, it's kind of like jumping from a 172 and then jump into a 6 and then drop into a Baron. Like, they're all different planes, and so, but they're all, you all have rudders, they all have, ailerons, they all have flaps, so as long as you get the basics down, then you jump in the plane and you say, okay, this is what I now have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot quicker, a lot more efficient way to do that.
Right, because you already have the fundamentals.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then you just apply that to whatever plane you jump in.
Okay. Now
I assume that's my
now
that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be that way. Now, you mentioned getting scored on the crosswind flight simulator. Do you get scored in the full motion simulator as well?
No, not in the same way. You really get basically just evaluated after each simulator flight. Then John and I sit down and we go over Redbird. Has their whole kind of checklist of an evaluation, and I evaluate myself on whether I need to practice more, for whether I'm feel proficient at it, and then John comes back and scores me on the exact same thing, and then each one, kind of each point we talk about, whether that be systems or groundwork or the actual maneuvers or whatever that is, and then I just kind of take notes on the things that I need to practice and kind of go back and go over that stuff.
Neat. Well, what's your favorite maneuver so far?
I don't know. Probably, one of the, I guess one of the most comforting the ones is when he just pulls the power off and you just sit there and glide in, and it's such a when he first did it the first time, it was just such a confidence booster, because one of my biggest fears was always like, well, what if I lose my engine? And my sister was like, what if you lose an engine? What if you lose an engine? And I was just like, I didn't. Supposedly you just glide in, and planes love to fly, and that's what they do. But to feel that and not know it was going to happen. He just did it on me. To feel that and to know what then is going to happen, and to have that, and not have to worry about it was such a big relief to me.
Wow, that sounds like a great way to introduce an engine out, something that can really give students and any pilot, a huge reason to be nervous, and put it in a safe environment and help you feel comfortable.
Right, exactly. And really, and like I said, my buddy Stuart, was just saying to have the ability to push the envelope like that, and feel comfortable doing it and not worry about it, and even do it by myself and not even have an instructor in there, and then being able to walk away from a landing, even if it's a little rough.
Right.
Now I say that I've had some rough landings, but out of my one big accomplishment of the day was that I beat John in our landing competition, and I got like a 987 with a turbulent 15-knot crosswind today. So
wow,
so it was pretty cool.
A 987 out of a possible 1,000?
1,000, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
probably a result of those 40 crosswind landings that you practiced.
Yeah, exactly. And I did that in like, I don't know, like I said, 30 minutes, and so 45 minutes maybe. So, but yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Good. So, what week or what stage in the training are they planning to transition you to an airplane?
We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Probably next Thursday, the end of next week, some point.
Okay.
So, and they said, well, if maybe you want to jump in to a plane, you kind of get stir crazy. You may want to jump in early, but I don't know. To me, it's just like, with this new Sim First, I'd rather just go, through the program and say this is what it would really be like, and don't worry about trying to jump in early or anything. So just run through it.
Great. Well, Abe, thanks for taking some time out of your training to talk to us and give us a glimpse of the experimental program that you're going through, and we wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you very much. It's incredible, and thank you all for sharing the story. I really think it can re-energize the GA community and introduce a lot more people into it. And it's been neat seeing there's a bunch of people that come in and just kind of check things out here at Redbird, and with the Pro Flight Academy, they got a great thing. So I'm all thumbs up.
Okay, great. Thanks, Abe.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us on this behind-the-scenes look at what Redbird has going on, and we'll check back with them later throughout the training to see how he's doing.